Hello, I'm Selin Karatsai, your host. Welcome to the listening channel of YouTube.
Ms. Selin, are there ways to prevent infidelity?
Of course, you need to take care of yourself. Oh, what am I doing? I'm acting normal. Yes, we're definitely acting normal. But infidelity doesn't just happen out of nowhere. People don't get married to cheat. There's no such thing as every man being prone to infidelity. There's no such thing. How does that happen? It happens when people fall into a void. Oh, what am I doing? Where am I going? Where did I find this guy? How? Or when you say, I can't handle this woman, means you're slowly approaching a pit. Before you fall into a void, whatever you're inclined towards, like if you love drinking, you start drinking. Gambling is gambling. If you're a man and you're a flirt and you have a lot of sexual feelings, you go after women. Or if you're a woman, you start chatting or flirting with the opposite sex. Or you start spending a lot of money, whether it's necessary or not. You start eating a lot. It seems like you're eating these things to fill that void that you can't get enough of. Then you start feeling uncomfortable. After that, you either become a hypochondriac, something hurting every day, or fall into depression. And I can list a lot more things. All of this is about how people who fall into a void shift towards whatever makes them happy. The part about cheating also depends on coincidences. If you're in a job where a lot of people from the opposite sex come and go, then naturally, cheating situation can easily arise. In this day and age, I mean, in the last 15, 20 years, women have been chasing after men. We said liberté to women everywhere, and they are very beautiful. They run after men with their own unique behaviors and movements. But it's not just about chasing, trying to somehow connect with them. If the person in front of you is either a woman or a man, I'm saying this for both, if they feel a huge void at that moment, meaning they're involuntarily searching restlessly, then what happens? A certain tension starts to build between individuals. These are all the reasons why betrayals begin.
Does forbidden love seem ever sweeter?
Everything that is forbidden creates a strong attraction for some people. When you say you shouldn't do this, instead of not doing it, complying, or behaving according to the laws or the customs and manners of that place, they might feel even more compelled to do the very thing you're telling them not to. I'm not saying everyone, if you pay attention, but forbidden love is like that. I think it usually starts with people who secretly enjoy doing things quickly, those who have an excess of adrenaline, knowing that it's impossible. You start a relationship, the other person. However, I always say from the beginning, you need to examine it thoroughly, look into what it is, what it isn't, how much it suits you, whether it's possible. A married man or a married woman might seem attractive to you at that moment. You never think about it. What if you fall in love? What if you can't get out of it? Or what if you get caught up in it with the other person's family, spouse, or whatever it may be? What happens to you if they find out about this? You need to know these things. We'll choose your category. Yes, very nice, very beautiful. If we lived in a different world, if there were different conditions and opportunities, I would start with this. But right now, he is surrounded by some negativity. If you use your logic and say that you shouldn't start anything with this, there is no problem. But unfortunately, logic doesn't always work. Since we live as captives of our emotions, I can easily jump into things without even seeing them. It's at least 15 to 20 meters, like diving into the sea right above your head. But maybe it's just 2 meters, maybe 3 meters. You hit your head hard on the ground. After that, don't even know how to get out of it, or you're just trying to cope. You may like it at first, but if you act without researching, investigating, thinking about the consequences, thinking about where I am going, what could happen, what is the worst, what is the best, you will not be wrong. Forbidden love can be sweet, but because there's guilt and rebellion, I would never recommend it. Does a relationship end where it starts? You will return to the same path again.
Does a relationship end where it starts?
So if there's no other option and it has left you where it found you, or if you're still swimming in that emptiness. If you haven't found what you're looking for, you will return to the same path again, because he has no other options. So he doesn't have the capacity to go to the places where the people he wants to meet go. What is closest to oneself without being seen? Finding someone by chatting or going to a bar and running into someone. But you also need to think about how well the person you run into at the bar meets your desires. So just because I like fish, you wouldn't go to the vegetable market to buy it. If you like fish, you go to the fish market. But if you keep going to the vegetable market looking for fish, then it won't work. That's why everyone goes according to their own capacity and takes advice from me. In places like this, in channels like this, shouldn't be looking for anyone. Believe me, won't end well. But you might say, where should I find them, Ms. Seelan? I mean, I need it in some way too. The people I will run into are there. I can only go there. I can only reach that place. A person who eats debt eats from their own pocket. If you happen to be one of God's lucky servants there, you might find someone you want.
Don't marry the person you are in love with. They say that when love ends, all that's left is disappointment. Is that true?
No, it gets even better. If the person you fall in love with turns out to be the kind of person you thought from the beginning. If it is going to end in marriage, as long as you provide the infrastructure, that will keep that love burning in action and continuing, even if you are married for 50 years and there are 5 people involved, that love will continue. If the person you love doesn't meet any conditions, if they aren't right for you, and if they shouldn't be the one and you've married them, then of course it won't work out. But you don't have that kind of situation. You've found what you wanted, desired it, and in the end, you've gotten married. The important thing is to be able to keep it going. That's very important. Instead of just finding a partner, maintaining it is crucial for kids.
Can a man or a woman be in love with 2 people at the same time?
No. That means they don't love either of them, not even one of them. So on one side of your heart is the person from option A, and on the other side is the person from option B. You can't combine and clone the two. You will have to choose one of them. Is it this one? Look at the basics. If it meets your desires in every way, when I say essentials, I mean if there's a tree trunk and you're only satisfied with the branches, you should let go of the branches and continue with the trunk.
If someone loves us very much but our feelings aren't at the same level, should we continue the relationship just so they won't be upset?
Neither should we start nor should we continue. So the person in front of me loves me. Like people say to me, Ms. Seelan, I love that he loves me. What do you mean? As long as I don't love them, does it matter if the person in front of me is crazy about me? It only strokes my ego. But is it enough to spend a lifetime? When someone comes to you with love and hugs, if you wish they'd leave or feel nothing, there's no chemistry. If warmth and excitement come over you and you enjoy touching them, that's fine. But if you're just thinking about their enjoyment, there's a disconnect. But the other person has come to you, enjoying it and adoring you. Are you saying what will happen just so they can enjoy it? You say, I will love them anyway. No, you can't love them. Very difficult. Because you'll see many parts of them that you haven't seen yet. That person will also see over time that you don't love them enough. They won't love you as much as they used to. So what happens then? There is no love left between us. You'll start saying it doesn't work. So definitely do it. Everything should be mutual. Please subscribe to me. Follow with love. See you again with all my love.